And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PUBG European League. We are live in Phase 3 and the final super weekend with just now 9 matches remaining as we move to Sanhok. I'm Lee Smith and joining me is Lauren Pansy Scott for this one. And I've just been chatting to the boys, a bit of banter outside, love it, Tier 7 NOP. You killed yourself with an aid, mate. For a second day running. Oh, Ivan's not happy. He just thought, he underhanded it and he thought it just didn't roll, but I'm almost certain it hit the tree branch.
I don't know.
I feel like it hit the tree branch and he went dead.
Short, honestly, yeah. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, he'll want to forget that one. Not ideal. Speaking of boys, I
did give MBS some, because he was walking past like, yeah, he nailed himself. I was like, mate, you mollied yourself yesterday, you can't talk.
Yeah, about to say, like, that's even worse. Like, because the worst thing is, like, when you nade yourself, it's like instantaneous, you're out, right? It's like, nah, yeah, whatever. A molly, it's literally that slow burn of like, I've
made mistakes.
This one up, haven't I? I've made a terrible mistake. But
Mitraleius, though, on your screen, he definitely changed the way that game could have gone. Because if G2 would have had 4 alive on that hill, I'm almost certain they would have won the game.
I feel like it would have been a fun end fight between them and Liquid. That would have been a really fun battle to watch unfold. But yeah, Liquid cost a lot of teams their way in. I mean, ENCE were struggling to cross away from Impala from that. GamerLegion fell foul to it eventually as well.
He's trying on SKUIJKE's glasses or what? Yeah, I think so. I think he's realised that SKUIJKE is actually blind.
No, SKUIJKE has his Gamer Boy glasses on, so it's fine.
He's got his gunners, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's like Gamer Girl bathwater. It gives you like 10+ power, you know? That's it. SKUIJKE's going to win this one, don't worry.
Oh, bathwater. What a marketing genius idea that was.
Man, I wish I was that smart, honestly.
You could have been doing that ages ago.
Yeah, no one would want that, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Yeah, but the boys just get themselves ready. And the lads on your screen need to put in some work here. They're fighting at that bottom portion of things too. And you know, GamerLegion haven't had the best of times. They
took out FaZe, so they got a bunch of points from that. But then obviously there was the problem is when it pulls to the east as it did, you're kind of screwed.
Yes.
In that spot. Yes, TomiL. Yes, serious.
Look at his screen. It's just like K-pop or something.
Does his like cracks? Yeah, he's probably got something weird on the screen. MBS is now discussing exactly how he molded himself with in the last game. Cup of Magic still wishing he was playing, but you know, he's like, I'm alright in the analyst role, boys.
Sometimes it's best to just dip out on a high, you know what I mean? Like, just keep that reputation up, be like, alright, no, I was good, I promise. And just become a streamer like Braek did, you know what I mean? Like, he saw the career going down, he was like,
how did we manage to turn it back to Braek?
Can't compete anymore, but streaming, now that seems like a good one.
Where the money is.
Mate, ain't that too right? Ain't that right?
Make it bank.
Well, luckily Braek's been really nice and decided he's going to give me half of the skins.
Is that right?
Yeah, the value of it. It's really. He put the flowers on there as a shout out to me as well. You know what? It's really kind of him to do that.
Yeah,
really
just
nice. Really nice.
Just for you. CrowCrowd ready. Oh, we got a 30-second timer. I like it. I like it.
The only reason I'm allowed to flame Braek is that he actually gets a bit of banter. Anyone else takes it a little bit seriously and they get a bit sad.
Oh, they get a little...
They get a little sad. Passive-aggressive tweets come out on Twitter.
Don't go American. Don't.
Yeah, you know. Like, thankfully, Europe gets a bit of banter. We love a bit of banter out here. It's all fun and games.
Only the Brits.
Well,
not too many outside of England do on the banter. But anyway, speaking of banter, 2 maps of Sanhok remain in the Phase 3. This being the second to last one. And I just saw him 47, T-Bone. So, mate, this is the time. This is where you get your points. This is where you can pick them up. It's a pretty southern plain, but it does mean there's going to be some long dropping to the north.
Are you excited to see it end near Barn again?
Well, I mean, we had a good breakdown at Barn yesterday, didn't we? It's like it's basically where you go to die. You don't go to Barn.
Yeah, we'll see if it switches up. I'd love to see a little bit of a different circle here. I think we've had a lot of northeastern circles, or just eastern circles, I think is the main way. Obviously, it is the main portion of land, but I'm hoping we see something, a little bit of variety here. GamerLegion probably praying that it goes northwest, obviously, and the Knights praying for a southwest themselves. So these two teams find to stay out of those relegation spots, trying to not have to play those extra games. You don't want that. You want to be nice and comfy. Okay, yeah, you're not in the top 6, whatever, doesn't matter. Get out of the bottom 4.
Yeah, you don't want to be having to slug it out in promo to be joining.
It's too dangerous.
The teams next season. There's already 12 teams ready and waiting. and watching with anticipation of, and honestly, doing the prep. They're doing the prep on these teams, watching their rotations, watching their paths, seeing how they play it out.
Yep.
Almost certainly going to have 7 and maybe DA down there already. Both those teams are quite a few points off the chance of breaking out unless they have some miracle in the next 8 games.
All right, so this plays well for the Knights and GamerLegion. They finally got a circle, so this is the big one for these two. Get out of that bottom 4. Who's going to break ahead? Because it's very close. That would come down to probably one day tomorrow. It won't be resolved today at all, but this is very different. We don't often see it come over to this side. Last time it ended on that hillside where it's just cut off, where Bjorn and kind of Iroh currently are. Won't end there, obviously, but someone like NIP could do wonders here.
Yeah, it finished just south of the temple last time we had the circle here, and there's also been another one pretty much where MBS is right now at the crossroads, which FaZe tend to try and reach that crossroads where MBS is. Now, if ever NIP are going to make a charge and make a one big last-ditch effort to get the global points and go for it, this is the game where they should pick them up. But it's going to be very tricky. They'll generally go with the spread. They'll probably stick at that crossroads that MBS is at and maybe have a 2-2. We'll see how it works out for them and trying to back each other up in as much as a north-south as it can. With the circle the way it is, almost guaranteed to be going down to that Southern Island, not going to go bumping up north. I'll be very surprised if we see that. TSM already on the move. They're going straight down.
Yeah, and I'm looking to see how some of these teams on the just edge of the circle play this. FaZe, for example, they're not far off. They could play, you know, a bit more bridge pressure, but that means they're very close to TSM. So that could be the first battle if they opt to go for that, if they want control of that main bridge, which I think teams will be very scared to cross these days. We saw a couple of them trying to send it across and it just didn't work out, but TSM on the move. So let's see how they make it. Yeah, they're going past Temple right now, old Swamp Temple. You got to put your prayers to Swample. It'll keep you safe. I actually love looting that area. That's still my favorite drop in this map. I absolutely love going to Ruins. I used to love it when it didn't have any texture on it. That was my favorite. I wish they'd have kept it, honestly. But yeah, TSM finding a very centralized area here. Good little land grab for them. It does mean they're going to be playing out from whatever loot they have, but again...
NIP too slow. Look at this. GamerLegion already coming down south towards the ruins.
Oh, they're very close by.
Galaxy still yet to get themselves together. There's Vard coming out the side, and he's going to see them and think, hang on a minute.
No effects. Oh, he's had a nightmare.
I mean, British drivers maybe. I'm not too sure.
Oh, no.
There's been a mistake. But he's all right. It actually bought time for Vard to get out of there. So Vard's going to go down to Crossroads, but Desperados are there. And this is what I was talking about. They're too late to group together. I mean, in fairness, we are pre-4 minutes, so I guess they didn't expect to be quite so early. GamerLegion adjusted, and they've gone kind of went for that compound, but TSM are already there. So quick, early engagements. MBS will get SIMSY down to Desperados, and NIP losing one apiece.
Yeah, and Vard needs to just find somewhere now. He's going to try and join up with Miraku. There is a player not too far off. That's Drayden. He's going to get vision on this. If he gets a clean kill, that'd be lovely for him. Switching over. Doesn't have time on it, though. So that's big info.
Waiting for the rest of the Knights to get up here, I think, and join him. Oh, he's so tempted. He's so tempted.
And DA is sending it too. They're just plowing through the river. I'm pretty sure they went over the kind of... elevated dirt path that's available there, which is good. That's just to the southeast of Painan, so that's giving them route through. Raise your edge, looking for that more northern approach to the west of Boot Camp. Going to keep vision for a second or two, maybe scout ahead, work out the best options. Yeah, 60's going to lead the way a little further and continue the scouting process. FaZe made it pretty well away from Painan. Liquid doing the same thing, not actually in too much of a scuffle yet.
Yeah, very condensed in the center. For this point, it's pretty clear where the circle is going, which why so many teams are risking it, you know, going at like post 3 minutes, pre-3 minutes, just getting in. Well, 2:30 it was, TSM were on the move already.
Yep.
We are going to have a pretty low loot game, I would say, from a lot of these teams, but that's only based on the fact that there are so many limited areas in this central point that they're all looking towards.
Exactly that. It's grab what you can, and you're hoping you just tooed out, right? Like that's your main thing. Get tooed out, and anything else is a bonus. I'm assuming they will have a gun. But the thing you're going to be lacking is utility. And speaking to these teams, Sanhok doesn't have a great deal of smokes and things like that to allow you to cross. That's why Barn is so tricky to play from. Just, you know, the ENCE boys were saying themselves, they obviously play around that area and they struggle so much to get full utility to be able to make those adjusted plays. Now in the south, Reciprocity continuing their loot, they're quite free actually on this one, not opting to go too central because again, you'll imagine the circle will continue to centralize towards this island.
What in the world are G2 doing? Are they still just going to carry on? I mean, it's CrowCrowd the same, I guess you could say, but This is what I expect from CrowCrowd, but G2, I don't know whether they're looking for a boat or what they're doing. Oh my god, Razor Edge, where you're scouting. I'm not too sure on this one. 60's down to nothing, he's been caught. mxey catches him, FaZe up on that hill. Oh lord, they've just, look at TSM, they're staying quiet. They're staying quiet.
Because it's a nice loot upgrade. If they get this cleanly, that's some free loot coming in. That's a delivery loot. Yeah. Blixie did find Michael, but it's a swift shutdown in the end, and a quick revive should be able to get them back on their feet.
Oh, Coleman's gone. Razor Edge down. That was, like you say, clever from TSM. They moved at 2:30. They had lacking loot. They've just been given 2 bodies of warm, comfy loot.
I actually really like that. Going dark like that for me is perfect. Again, sometimes it's perfect that you want to fight out and make sure people don't crash. Sometimes you want that loot because it's unexpected. They won't be there ready. They were pulling up slowly. They didn't think anyone was there.
I would question why they're doing that at 6 minutes.
Yeah, like, I agree.
There's 100% no way. I mean, and this is not the first time we've seen this with Razor Edge. They did the same thing in Erangel. They sort of scouted to a point and then went, oh, we'll go there. And you know, this may be a part of the fact they don't have an IGL. They don't have. It's a 4-man. Diplomacy, I guess. I don't know. There's like diplomatic ideas of, shall we do this? Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. It just doesn't work sometimes, I'm afraid.
Yeah, sometimes you do need that overarching voice to keep everyone built.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is nice.
So, well, Circle 3 pulls away from water, so it will pull. I think actually we'll see most teams are fairly happy, but the ones obviously on the south are not.
That's a lot of teams out there too, because it still has that portion of the Northern Island. And you've got to look at those compounds now by the bridge that are going to be filled. GamerLegion opting to go to Ruins in the end. Not bad. Actually, at this point, it's really not bad at all.
Basically, if the Knights stop here, they are the buffer zone for everyone. Because Reciprocity are going to go around the south side. Navi are going to wrap around the south side. If they stop where they are, it's going to cause everyone to fight.
Make it back into cover. Yeah, if you look on that western coast as well, it's going to be littered with teams. You're going to have to use every bit of land possible now for the ones who are on the outskirts, because that southeastern side, look at DA, they're right next to M47, and that's without ENCE, Na'Vi, CrowCrowd, everyone else coming in from potentially that side.
G2 blasting the Miami Vice music as they come down the edge of Camp Alpha. That's an old 80s reference for anyone out there. Any of those cool kids. Page Kitchen 6 rough card. Not going to work out though, and that's give his position away. Instantly has to move from those nades.
Yeah, nades coming back in. Just trying to keep them at arm's length. This is a good idea, just kind of bolstering yourself, keeping that high ground and allowing M47 a little bit more room to be able to get themselves in the circle. Then they can maybe set up and actually take a fight here.
I like Liquid's move. They've decided to just keep on and head around north and wrap around up to that north side and really spread out, give themselves a big chunk of area. Not risking going into any of those compounds, well aware they're going to be taken. G2 pulled up on the north side, still on the island. CrzyZZ has actually got himself a crate, which is probably why they stopped. Just saw that dropping down maybe with the plane delivery.
And the one thing I'm glad you highlighted is how much room Liquid have as well. That portion of the island is just completely under their control. G2 could be an issue for them down the line, just maybe because they don't expect it. Same with CrowCrowd, because they're so late coming to the circle. But you think of what they're covering percentage-wise is a huge portion.
Yeah, and considering we know it's going to pull to the east next circle, it almost certainly will be still a northern spot for them in the next circle. Well aware that generally they've got boot camp on their backs, etc., so they're fine. They're going to be hearing the boat from Braexco now, so James will hear that happening. Chris is still moving across. He's picked himself up the Groza. So the rest of G2 going to cross soon. Braexco's going to be that key man, but that's given them the warning sign. So James is already heading this way to say, okay, there's a team coming over from the north still.
Yeah, there's that Reciprocity Na'Vi engagement at the south by the lumberyard that kind of rolls around. That's pretty far fights to be had. So
the shots will be heard as well. So ENCE are rolling in behind this.
Yeah. So ENCE will know what they're coming up against. They could maybe slit themselves into that eastern hill that's overlooking Na'Vi. I don't know what they're working with or what their loot is at this point. It's not nice. So this circle hurts. Yeah, with Shift being not. I wonder if Na'Vi are going to maybe try and make that one work for them, but Rex should be able to get themselves together. Rest of G2 coming over on the river. And what I like is what Senyon just did. He actually took over that hill that I was thinking could be an opportunity for ENCE. It's probably the one downside to where Na'Vi's position currently holds. So again, Senyon trying to think beyond it, and he's even looking out to the blue. He's considering everything. That's a really good bit of I guess, insight into the game. And there's the shrink towards the island. We all know it's going to happen on this circle. It always does move away from water. And it doesn't actually cause too much of a bother for most of these teams.
So basically, to the north of Desperados is where it finished last time, on that hillside position just outside of Ruins. And it's looking like it may well be heading somewhere around there again. 7 are in a prime position for it. Looking good for them. N47 and TSM are about to clash, so N47 are getting closer and closer and closer as they look towards their compound. TSM, of course, they already caught one team out before Raise Your Edge were picked up there. Now Page goes down, Vasco will follow. TSM are being gifted yet more loot.
This one, it's a nice little grab for TSM. They're happy getting these upgrades. They haven't really lost out on much either. They're just happy sat here. DA in all kinds of trouble. Response comes in from Mitraleius. This guy, again, is your headliner for DA at the moment. And again, he delivers. NOOKIE goes down. He is fighting a good fight for DA. There's not much more you could be putting towards him on pressure, but he is standing tall for now.
Yeah, CrowCrowd got absolutely bodied. That's just not worked out for them. Team E is going to get Tiikzu back on his feet, but that's all it'll be. We will have a couple of people bleeding out. Team Liquid stealing one of the N47 kills away, so that takes them down to 1. They're going aggressive. They're pushing down up on that hill as well. I say down up on the hill. I know it's a bit of a weird phrase, but they are running down south on the map, which means they are running up the hill on N47.
CrowCrowd still trying to find a way out of this. Flushing towards Mert, but they're trying to get miikaz back on his feet. It's not a nice one.
They actually managed to get it. This is impressive. Timmy's got Tiikzu back up, and now he's going to get miikaz back up.
They're trying to recover. They are recovering in this. It's just, it's hard now working their way forward because you know the Sixmo's got everything, you know, full information of this. They make it further in. N47, Liquid, they're all there. We are about to see Reciprocity and ENCE just swing past each other. That's a firing squad on Monkey, and down he goes in a ball of flames. The body goes flying, and ENCE get another point in the pocket.
Yeah, with that many ARs and the rapid fire that they do. That
close.
Yeah, that close. There's no way you're going to ever get it past the car because the rate of fire is incredible on that gun. Na'Vi, they're just collapsing and slowly compressing around NIP's compound. Remember, they're down to 3 NIP. Team Liquid, well, they're still on the hunt. They're pretty much stumbling over N47. That crate not really going to go to anyone. There is N47 being found out. Ivor's going to be finished off. Ibis Nade will do the job. T-Bone, the last man standing. And this is the worst performance, I think, from M47 on Sanhok.
Yeah, it is surprising. Maybe this side of the island just doesn't play well for them. We don't often get to see it, so it is a rarity. And maybe they just simply don't have those rotations down yet or feel as comfortable fragging out like they do. This is where you'll probably see your teams like FaZe, Liquid, Na'Vi, who have the basics down so well, hopefully shine.
Yeah, we've also, I think, you know, the teams have obviously had a lot of practice now. And it does go to the same area. Wow. So, yeah, this is the same. This is a very similar circle to what we had previously. FaZe in a great spot for it. Once again, it's the position they chose from the beginning. NIP, though, they're going to be feeling aggrieved, obviously dropping into Ruins from the beginning. They are now outside of it, and look at it. Look at it. ENCE, Na'Vi, and NIP all collapsing into the same area and all need to cross the road. Yeah,
and CrowCrowd are waiting. They are the final boss, but there's so much before it. It's not going to be easy to run through. I think Rustanmar might have just spotted one of the Na'Vi boys. Yeah, he definitely did. That's contact made. So now BestLodge and everyone else gets prepared. NIP are hearing all of this. Rustanmar does find Pokemolodoy, so it's the first strike against Na'Vi, and actually ENCE are just continuing forward. They know they don't want to get held up by this Na'Vi fight. They're just absolutely piling in towards NIP. We have full vision on this. NBS gets tagged up. He can't peek the window now.
Oh no. SKUIJKE taking TRYFFELI down, and Aitzy just steals the kills away. You do not want that on the approach as you're trying to push a housing compound. The blue moves very fast from phase 4 onwards. They know, they're well aware of it, which is why they were trying to keep on moving as quick as they could. But Vard will gun one down. ENCE is finished, 15th place for them. Na'Vi stealing a couple of the kills away and actually getting a knock onto NIP at the process. That's a shot coming across onto Miraku. That's from Desperados, that one. As Samty pushes around the last member of M47. T-Bone's down.
Yeah, clinical from Liquid so far, controlling their space, trying to maintain that eastern front. We are seeing Na'Vi now getting curious towards the buildings. Miraku's still in there, so it's not an easy one to push through. Vard still stands as well.
FaZe getting one down there for Na'Vi. Scoom's going to come up behind them as well. So Na'Vi have to move in onto NIP. He sees the nade just rolling through, so he's aware of the position. He should be able to just push up onto Miraku here. Miraku did just get the first aid off, though. It's going to be a case of who can find the headshot first. Skoom will get around the back. He catches BeautflDeath off guard. Meanwhile, Vard will finish him off, so it's a one-on-one effectively for Na'Vi here. Can he keep them alive? No, Aduzi will take Miraku down. And now NIP down to 1. Senya has got to try and get BeautflDeath back up, but I think the blue's going to be too quick.
Yeah, Knight's going to try and jump ahead on this. They have got a bit of high ground to play off of. Seven's definitely getting some shots towards them, as the Desperados. Any bit of cover is good now. This is all you need. Try and slow down, try and get some sort of safety.
The problem is GamerLegion is surely going to shoot them in the back. As soon as they realize where they are, there you go, yeah. GamerLegion, Fex will get knocked down. They have a clear angle because they just went down the back of that hill. It exposes them completely to the ruins.
Too. Fex is popping off here. This guy's just finding these shots, and it's going to move towards ruins. This is massive now. TSM looking really strong as a GamerLegion, even though they lost out on Bjorn. So are Seven, so are the Knights. But can they hold on in these areas? Because already, as you highlighted, the Knights fully visible, and they're bleeding out.
Yeah, not so hot for them. Team Liquid, though, they're rotating back around. The problem is their big push on N47 has exposed them. G2 have moved into the spot where they were, and I think they're running back completely unaware that G2 are here ready and waiting.
And here we go, NELLOZ unleashes.
That was too early.
Yeah, maybe opening up a bit too soon on this.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they got spot out. Maybe you can see EB was starting to take shots on them, but he does get Chris down. Misa, meanwhile, with FaZe Clan, they have got a really nice spread with this next circle shifting again towards that ruins area. So similar circle finish that we've seen before.
Right now, if you're Liquid, you're going to go back to what you know. You had control on that north side, but now with G2 there, they need an opener, and there it is. Cracking it open, it's time to start working forward, chipping, taking step-by-step progress towards it, because you know other teams are flanking this way. Sixmo's under fire now. He's been spotted out by CrowCrowd, but then FaZe spot CrowCrowd. If you make noise, everyone will look at you here.
Ubah picks up that Mark 14, that crate from the hillside. He takes Senya down with it. Now be gone. And G2 do confirm the kill onto NELLOZ. Now Jeem sees a little glimpse of Chris's head. TSM still happy in the compound. Seven still happy in their compound. Desperados. All these teams still with really nothing used. They've got full utility for the final fights.
Yeah, and Hamster finding one of the G2 players as well. This encourages Liquid to continue this, and G2 are now going to fall like flies. They had no step into the circle once they started to get the attention of everyone. TSM have spotted out Liquid, though, and Sixmo's on the flank, but I don't know how much he can do here. He is in the blue, so a little bit of damage to be done. Uh-oh, Liquid suffering from these players still in the blue. Braexco goes down, so does Sixmo. They've made it out for now, but then TSM wait.
FaZe is starting to sweep down. They want to get involved in this, but they may trip over TSM in the process, who are trying to catch it.
Huge
Look at this.
Points.
GamerLegion from the advantage point of ruins, collecting all of the frags right now. This little late move. It wasn't even a late move. It was a pretty early one for GamerLegion, in fairness. About 3 minutes. Yep. They moved into that ruins, caught NIP off guard. They were heading south. And this has worked out for them massively.
Yeah, they need to bank these points. They need them to come in strong here. Seven's been quiet, though, out in the west. There is a danger there. Don't write it off just yet. We will see the revive come in for Liquid.
With this battle that's been playing out, I'm not going to lie, I reckon Raise Your Edge are going to get dragged into relegation here at this stage. GamerLegion and Knights, they're both stepping it up every time, and they're starting to keep collecting those points. Raise Your Edge have gone down in a hail of bullets multiple times so far over the last 2 days. I'm a little concerned for them.
And if Hamster's doing this, yeah, you probably should be concerned. You're right. I was just looking at that battle between the two, but you're absolutely spot on. Raise Your Edge are now not that far ahead, and Hamster is continuing to rack up points here. Again, GamerLegion, Knights, and Raise Your Edge, that's the battle to get out of the bottom four. They're all fighting for this.
Desperados and FaZe Clan down the south side as he goes tree to tree. He's in the blue. That's going to be hurting. At phase 6, that blue hits like a truck.
Yeah.
It's not really anywhere he can go.
Barely getting the stealth. Just probably silent. And here's the push from Seven. We need to see them get into this one. They've been very quiet in the west in those final couple of circles. Now they leave the compound and they're looking at Desperados in the south, FaZe to the east, and the Knights in the north.
Very similar to the last time we had this circle. We had multiple four-man teams all fighting around this ridge line. The position that Seven is in is the team that won it. Now, the downside for them is they have GamerLegion and the Knights behind them, whereas I think it was ENCE that was in the same spot, similar spot, did not have that. But this, obviously, Desperados, they're in the tough spot, I would say. Looks like SIMSY's going to the blue this time. He has got inside and will just fall on the last step. So now, again, it pulls to the water side. This is big. GamerLegion, they have to try and collect what they can from Ruins.
In my eyes right now, I'm waiting to see ubah become the final boss of this just because he has that MK and it's so deadly on this map. Close or far, you can just tap. It's like a SLR on steroids sort of thing, you know what I mean? That gun is just beastly, and in a hand like he has, he can work with it, but he's in danger. TSM can catch their cross, but here comes the blue. TSM wait, they've got the bike in there still. They've got vehicles to use. They're off. They're just trying to get a little bit further forward. Jump in on this one, and they made it. That's good for them. Rory's in danger. Got to be careful with the car, but here comes the engagement. Desperados go down. That was 7 catching them off, and Aitzy just dived in on a bit of the action, but FaZe are moving on this quickly.
FaZe are running. TSM was so cautious with the vehicles that FaZe are absolutely blasting around the side to try and catch on TSM. TSM are going to be unawares. They've just made this vehicle move, but FaZe have completely charged towards them. With the worry of Desperados, we now have almost a two-way battle. GamerLegion are getting involved on both fronts, but the Knights are getting crushed by 7. They're going to fall. It's going to be 5th place for them. And now FaZe and TSM will clash.
Oh, look how close they are. Fuzzface goes down. Rory with the AK looking for more spots out. mxey, beautiful shot from Rory. Dancing around the vehicle, timing that recoil reset so well as Aitzy puts down the nade to try and buy a second or two, because TSM have won this fight.
He's pretty much just naded Fuzzface, went straight towards the vehicles, and like you say, TSM coming out on top now. 7 need to get third party in. They're going to look down towards GamerLegion. mxey, the last man standing, he will go, and GamerLegion out in 4th place. Aitzy gets 1, gets 2. Oh my god, it's a 1-on-1. It's just Michael. He's going to try and flashbang the right, and it's going to kind of work out. No, he didn't get close enough. 7 are going to be looking at this. 7 absolutely can pay. That's going to be a cheeky little push around the side there. Michael goes around the side, gets a little clip. 7 hit points. That's all he's got. Aitzy knows he's managed to land it. He's looking for the damage, trying to get around the side. He's gone for the rope-a-dope around the side, holding the angle, gonna get him. Oh no, it's 7 stole them both. 7 nicked them both. Got involved, 1-on-1. No, not on my watch. And 7 get themselves 4 kills and a win. An important win, by the way. I should point out, I think that's their 2nd win. It is. It's their 2nd win of the phase.
You said it before, though, that position they played out of did prove to be the winning position last time. We saw that sort of circle, and it's done it again. 7 chuffed with that, but what a scrappy battle. I love that FaZe, TSM battle, GamerLegion fighting out Ruins. There was so much in that game.
TSM, I got to be honest, Rory absolutely smashed FaZe when they tried to push up on him. He really caught them off guard, so nice work from TSM, but mutually assured destruction at the end of the day. The top 2 teams having to go down. Team NOOKIE picking up the last one, but it's 7. Parla, let's see if they've got any words of wisdom for you.
Yep. I'm looking forward to having a chat with 7 because it's been a while since I spoke to them last. As you just noted, D-Man, it's just their 2nd win of PEL Phase 3. Guys, talk to me about that game. I'm going to come over to you, Sadovnik, because we've spoken before. How was that overall on Sanhok?
I don't speak English, you know. Okay, I'm just kidding. Yes.
Yes, okay. Let's move forward then. How is it for you and the team to be competing from the bottom of the leaderboard? Does it make it harder?
We just got a lot of experience from start of PL, and now we know how we need to play. Now we feel like motivation, you know, and we're just training and fixing our fails.
So in that sense, PL Phase 3 has been a very good learning experience for you and your team.
Yes, very big experience, and we want to win promo and come back and play better next PL phase.
Okay, so at this point, you're already looking at the promo stage and focusing on that.
Yeah, yes, I think we're gonna play better on promo because we know a lot of
how the teams are playing.
Yes, we know how other teams playing from contender because guys played a lot in contender and they know the teams, and that's all.
All right, so you're still feeling good and you're looking forward to the rest of the time playing here in Berlin.
Yes, we're feeling very good. Our team is good, and we're gonna play more and be better.
Well, it's a pleasure to talk to you again, Sadovnik. Seven, congratulations on your second chicken dinner, and thank you very much for the interview, Sadovnik. Very well spoken. All right, let's head back to the desk.
Good win for 7 there towards the end of it all. Not that impactful when it comes to the standings thus far for them. However, it is a decent morale boost moving on into relegations later on in the couple of weeks' time. Gentlemen, Frost Avenger. I'm just going to tell how it is, mate. I mean, that is kind of...
To be fair,
they can still make it. If they win every game...
No, stop. Like, they're...
Stop. Shutting it down.
They have half the points of FaZe and Liquid.
Well, they're not going for the top,
No,
okay?
But they're there. But I would say building this momentum now, starting to show up and play, like we've talked about this before, start playing. If you're in the relegation zone, start playing now as you want to play in the relegations. Start doing your rotation, start like thinking about your patterns so you're the best prepared for the relegation tournament.
My favorite part of the interview was them trolling Pala at the beginning, telling him they didn't know English. That was a good time. I appreciate that. Let's take a look at the highlights, though, of this game. Of course, game number 88 as 7 was victorious, and a very heavy West circle that teams had to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, already in, I think it was Circle 2, it was almost like a Circle 4 because there was so much water. We had only a little bit of the landmass on the north side of the bridge as well. So all the teams got cramped up a lot. I mean, a lot, because you had Ruins there as well. And Ruins is a team where GamerLegion wanted to play in. Quite surprising, actually, because once you need to get out of there, it's going to be really, really rough.
It's like a city. Once you have to kind of exit this space here, there's just water and open space, and players are going to be on the high ground taking you down. But to be fair, they made the best of it. They got a lot of kills. They got a good position and placement-wise, so they made it work considering their current standing here and being currently in the bottom 4.
Unfortunately for G2, 0 points. Thank you, Avenger.
I'd say unfortunate for Razor Edge Gaming, 0 points. Because they're currently on 1 point today.
Another 1 point day?
They've had one point day before, so...
Pretty even up towards the top. 16 points, 14 to coming in for the top 3 here. TSM and FaZe Clan trumping out what Team Liquid were able to put up. So things are still narrowing down in that top 3, boys. Slowly but surely.
And GamerLegion gaining 4 points on Knights here. They're going to be 2 points difference, Knights and GamerLegion, for the relegation spot.
Oof.
And with this as well, Rashad is going to be within 10 points reach of both of the teams. So, considering how well Rashad started, it's been some rough weeks, especially this week so far. 40 points.
Getting spicy in a lot of these very important
Time to get worried if you're Razor Edge.
Yeah, for sure.
What's happening? What's going on? What can we do to not go down to relegation? Like, just change anything up. It doesn't matter what it is. Someone take the leader, do the calls. Change up your strategies.
It's especially unfortunate for them since the beginning of Phase 3 looked promising.
So, especially, okay, so we've talked about this yesterday as well, but let's talk about it again. Especially if you have a start and you start well and everything goes well and you have a flat leadership and everything, but once you hit 2 bad weeks in a row or like a rough week, below 70, below 80 points for a week, right? And then nobody starts contributing to the calls. Nobody's going to make that call, say, let's go there. Because they're afraid of, if they're the one making the wrong call, then they're going to be kind of hurt by it. And the other players, your teammates, is going to say, that's not a good call, you should not be calling anymore. Like, and then at a point, especially with 96 games, at a point, when you hit 63 points as it did in week 3 and 4, nobody's like, they're just completely going to stop call. And then it's going to be like, okay, blue is moving now, we have to move further. So they're not planning their steps ahead. They're not planning like 1 or 2 circles next into it. So 100%, as Russ said, I mean, like, it hasn't worked. Maybe change something. Maybe start saying, you know what?
What's the worst that can happen? You have 1 point so far.
And a strong mantra that you should live by is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results, right?
Yeah.
We see that a lot in life. Just change things up if things are going the wrong way. And you can, even if it fails, you've tried to change things and, you know, tried to find a different direction, because if it does work, then quid's in, boys.
I mean, all it needs is one guy stepping up, making the calls.
Yeah.
That's all that is needed right now. Make the calls, say, hey, let's do this instead, because what we're doing right now, it's definitely not working.
No, but also in terms of overall strategy, like they've been a late rotated team for a long time. Start rotating early. You don't need 5, 6Xs and 24Xs and everything. Take your 2Xs, take your 3Xs.
Did you say 24X?
Jokes.
Sick.
But once you start, like, if you start moving earlier, you don't need those, like, if you've gotten 1 point, you don't need those scopes. You're not getting the kills anyway. So start moving into a early rotation and be one of the front runners, be one of the guys that are able to take the early compounds instead of trying to play edge constantly, right?
I'll raise you. 36X. I want a 36X in the game. 64X. Let's go. Let's go. Anything else?
No? What are you going to watch with that?
What?
The other side of the map. Anyway, it's time for a break. We are going, and then we're going to be going on to Erangel in a few moments' time. So join us right after this for more PUBG action as we go to Erangel.